Hello, welcome back. My name is Holly-Beth and this is my little place where I get to talk about anything to do with crafts and what I'm making. And this is going to be the start to the monthly video thing that I do, where I talk about my plans, what I make, and then also how much yarn I have used slash hopefully not added to my stash and my yarn totals. I'm pretty sure that the outro for last month and the porcelain sweater and the intro for this one is going to look the same because I'm just really happy with this jump and I'm really excited about everything to do with it, so I really want to get this done now. And also I was waiting for this sweater to dry so I could do my intro which is a bit dumb, but I just really wanted to wear it. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my goals for November, then at the end of the month we'll see how much I managed to achieve. If that's something you want to see, then just keep watching. I will go through my goals right now. So let's start off with possibly the things that I am currently in the progress of, maybe. One of them being this t-shirt here. I got a good amount done last month on this. I didn't expect to at all, but I did. This is my Tolsta tee 4-ply version. I've been knitting on this since last summer, so as in like 2024. It'd be really nice to get this finished this year. I don't think it's going to happen this month, but I would like to get a little bit of progress on it, or at least be like consciously thinking about it so that I can crack on with it in December maybe. But I would love to get it finished. I'm wondering whether to take it over with me on my trip. So this month, it's been a long time coming, a long time waiting, but me and my fiance are getting married, and that does mean that I am flying out to Norway to get married with him, and I'm still touring with what I am actually going to be bringing with me because I'm only going for just under 2 weeks. I don't know if I'm actually going to get even a chance to work on this, but I have other projects that I've taken priority. Possibly I may just leave this one here and just work on it in December, but I would love to get a bit of progress done. I think the reason I'm stuck now is, one, I was trying to finish this off, if I'm honest, this sweater, and also I think I need to try it on and see where the length is so I can work out how much longer I need to make it. Once I know that, then I'll be able to do that and then do the sleeves, and I'm pretty sure it's done. It's really not far off. I am knitting it in this yarn here. It is in the colour 251 Deep Cherry, and it's going to be really lovely. It's going to be really, really nice. The Tolsta tee 4-ply is a pattern by Clow from the Creator Bear, and I really want to get this finished, done before the end of the year, but whether it'll happen in November I'm not sure. Worth mentioning though, because I want to get some progress on it if I can. Progress on this would be lovely. Also, whilst we're talking about progress, I have a few Christmas gifts to do this year, as we're all a little bit guilty for doing, even if we don't really have time, but it's fine. I wanted to get all 3 of these made for someone incredibly special in my life for Christmas. Right now, as of today, I haven't even finished the first one. The goal is to still get 3 of them done, but if I can only get 1 of them done, then that is probably okay as well. Pretty sure I did end up fixing that stitch though, so I just need to crack on with it, to be honest. That's all there is to it. I will be bringing these with me to Norway, I think, so I can work on them when I can, because this is actually a safer option to make around Lucy, which is our little kitten, because she's usually really good, but every so often she sees that bit of yarn and she just watches it a little bit longer and then she'll just go for it, and then it's just a mess. So just like with most kittens and most cats, I suppose. But yeah, I really would like to get definitely this one finished. Goodness me, if I don't have one of them finished, I'm in trouble. So I would love to get maybe 2 finished this month, so I only have 1 left to stress about in December. We'll see. I just want to try and get as many done as I possibly can. They're just little Christmas gnomes, and I think they can be really cute. Every month for quite a few months I've been saying that I wanted to also cast on another Achill jumper. This is a pattern by PetiteKnit. I really would love to. Again, I just don't know if it's gonna happen. Love for it to happen, but if it does, it'll be the end of the month, not now. That would be kind of like if I want to work on that instead of what I have plans for. It's an honorable mention, but I don't know if I'm actually gonna be able to get started on that. The Achill jumper, this will be my 2nd version. I've made one of these before during the test knit for this, and I'm just not overly thrilled about the yarn choice. It's not held up. The pattern itself is lovely. It's perfect. It's just the yarn choice. So there's that as an honorable mention. Something else that I really wanted to start last month, didn't get around to it, is a granny square blanket, like a random one for my mum. She asked me to make one out of the remaining acrylics that I have. She picked out a colour scheme or a colour palette. That is going to be something quite cool coming up. Full plans to make like a roll for scraps, because I am a bit of a nerd when it comes to my other hobbies, and I do have quite a few sets of dice. Thank you to my wonderful best friend. I would like to incorporate that side and my knitting, make something random. There's a few really small cakes that I really want to get out of my stash, so I'll start with those just so they're gone, and that will really help with my yarn usage and using up these acrylics that I've got as well. That won't be happening before I go away, because I go away soon, but that will hopefully be something I can start when I get back at the end of the month. Just again a mention because it's in my brain for November and I have it written down. Something else that might not be until the end of November, I'm torn between the idea of taking the yarn with me away, because I just don't know if I'm going to start it, so I don't want to use up suitcase space if I'm not going to start it then. I would really like to make my niece a Christmas present. I've already spoken about it to her parents, so my brother and my sister-in-law. I think I did tell them what pattern. I don't think I told them what colours. Either way, it's going to be in Drops Flora, and it's going to be the Friday sweater by PetiteKnit, and I think it's going to be in the size 4 to 5 years, just to give her a bit of growing room. She's a very tall little girl, so I think that's possibly where we're going, and they can always roll the sleeves up. I think that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to use 2 different colours. I'm going to use a white main colour, might be a worst decision ever, as kids are. Messy, and also I think pink. I have a few different options, but I think pink is the way that I'm going with this. That's also something that I want to start at the end of November, so that I am ahead of December, all of that stress. I don't think I'll be bringing it with me to Norway, because I've got other projects that I really want to work on. Another thing that I don't think I'll be bringing to Norway, but also I would really love to have for Christmas, is an older sweater, also a pattern by the Creabea, so Rebecca Clow. I only realised the other day whilst looking for my Rauma Garn Vandre that I was going to be using for something else I'm going to talk about in a minute, which is Bunch of Mittens, that I actually I might not actually have enough of the brown, so that's on me. I really thought that I'd got enough for it. I had got 10 balls of this yarn, this colour, so it might be a bit cropped, or we might have to rip it all back out and it'd be useless. So, but I have this one, so if worst comes to worst, I can wear this one at Christmas. It's not a problem. We'll see if I get round to doing that, or at least if I manage to finish it, because I haven't won yarn chicken, for example. That's going to be knit in Rauma Garn Vandre. It's yarn I got from the outlet. I don't know how it's going to work up. I have started using it, not this specific colour. And I have noticed, I think I maybe know the reason why it was the failed production, because it kind of is not consistent with the thickness, which could and could not be a problem. But I was going to use that golden brown colour and the cream natural colour, so it's going to look a little bit gingerbread. I think it's going to be cute. Hopefully there is enough of that brown there to make this sweater. I'll probably start that at the end of November. Whilst I'm talking about Rauma Garn Vandre, this is the natural colour that I was talking about. I'm recording this quite far into November, if I'm honest, which wasn't part of my plan, but I really wanted to wear this sweater. Like I said, I have actually completed some of the things I had on my list, so I'll just tell you the goal as to what I had when I first wrote the list, and then if I hit that goal, fantastic. I am already kind of a lot of the way there. I wanted to make some mittens that we could wear on our wedding day that would be pretty in pictures and I wanted them to be matching. So as of right now, I have been knitting with Natur and the blue colour, the blue of which I didn't really fully know what to do with yet, and I know I'll be fine to have enough for whatever jumper I'm using, because I have 2 bags of 10 balls each, so I have a kilo of this, so I'm not stressed. And even using this here, I still have enough white for the older, so again, not stressed, it's just the brown. I am currently working on my fiance's pair. I had planned to make 3 pairs of mittens, 2 in these blue and white and 1 in a grey and white, which I'll show you in a second. These are my ones. I have never felt like I would be confident enough to make these mittens. I did, and I love them. They're a little bit small. I wish I'd gone for the bigger size, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna not use them. I haven't blocked them yet, so they might also grow. I think Vandre is the type of yarn that is likely to fill the gaps where maybe the colour work isn't great, or just make it a little bit more airtight. I feel like it's going to be a yarn that blooms quite a lot. I also am really praying the colour doesn't run. Can you tell I'm in my really stressed, like pre-wedding stress phase right now? Trying to stress knit 3 pairs of mittens. I wanted the first test pair to be mine in case I messed it up, which I kind of did in one area. But I'm using the Snowflake Mittens pattern by Drops, so Drops Garn Studio, free pattern on their website. I figured that whilst I'm testing the water of mittens, I'm just going to use a free pattern and then I'll upgrade to a better pattern when it comes around, and the pattern is okay from drops. The thumb is like, what? Until you watch the video and you kind of maybe understand what they're asking. I think it's helpful that I've made socks in the past. I think it's helpful that I've made things that require you picking up stitches, because it's the thumb that I was most terrified about, and it was the thumb that was the most confusing part of the whole thing. 3 pairs of mittens, 1 for me, 1 is going to be for my soon-to-be husband, which is weird. Good weird, it's just weird to say and think it. And I would really like to get around to making a pair of mittens for my best friend that is flying over with me. Without gushing too much, I am so incredibly grateful for her. She's just one of the best people in my life, and I do hope that I will get around to making these. I'm taking a bit of a risk with this one. The pattern itself is made for drops Nepal, so the Vandra, it does and doesn't work. It doesn't work when the yarn goes really thin. It does work when the yarn is really thick. But I'm using the grey that I got because I have a lot of grey. I'm also hoping it's not going to be too scratchy for her, because it's not something she's going to be wearing like her body and just on her hands when we're outside. I'm hoping it's going to be fine. And then I am going to pair it with a white drops Nepal. I knit the swatch with both of these in it, and it looks fine. So I should have enough of the white, and I definitely should have enough of the grey. I'm hoping we're gonna have 2 blue mittens that are matching, same pattern with the grey one, but a grey one for her. And honestly, I would have wanted a brighter, more fun colour, but I am also trying to be mindful of using the yarn in my stash, and I think this is going to do that. This was meant to be for a owl plushie that I had planned to make ages ago, but you know what, worst comes to worst, I can get more white. It's literally not a problem, and I'm pretty sure I don't even need that much white for that owl. If memory serves me right, we'll just buy more white because it's one ball. I don't mind that, it's fine. If I've got a project, I don't mind buying it. Currently stress/speed knitting these in the hope that I can finish them before my wedding, and I've got to do these sooner as well because she's coming up and staying with me 2 days before we go. So, but I mean, so far they're looking really cute, and I'm excited to see how they turn out. So I'm excited. There's a few other things, but I'm just not really going to bother explaining them. I'll just do them when I get to them. But the last 2 things are both in this bag. This is how I keep my yarn. I just keep them in like little plastic, like not Ziploc, but airlock bags. So the last 2 projects that I want to do this month, this is Drop Sleema. This is in the off-white colour. I want to use this for a neck warmer, which I plan to be a Christmas gift. I want to make 3 of those before Christmas. It would have been nice to have got 2 of them done before I was going away, so I could give them to the people that are not in the country that I live in right now. Alas, I haven't been able to, because I have a little bit longer now to make those other 2. So I definitely want to finish this one because this one has to be ready by Christmas. Yeah, we'll see. I've been looking at the drops neck warmer patterns, possibly one of the cabled ones is kind of what I had in my brain. We'll see. I'm doing a lot of cables in the next month or so. I am currently taking part in the cable cal that Lene from the Norwegian Knitter is hosting. But like that's a lot of cables. There is a lot of cables. Talking about cables though, my main project for this month is going to be using this Drops Poppy. I am finally getting around to casting on my Siri cardigan. This is a pattern that I've been wanting to do for ages. Yeah, I just had to fact check myself. I don't know why I've had this little sudden panic then. It's also a pattern by Lene, so I'm really hoping that it's going to be a bit more clearer than what this pattern was. I have read over it a few times because I've obviously been waiting to cast that one on a lot longer than this one. I think it's going to be better. I think it's going to be a bit easier, and the not really reviews, but the general consensus is that the pattern is quite okay. So let's hope that's the case. I did plan on casting on with a Women's Institute plum colour. It's a DK yarn, but I just decided that after too many swatch attempts that wasn't even getting close to gauge with the right type of fabric that it just wasn't going to work. I didn't want to buy a mohair for it. I was worried about colour matching to such a specific coloured yarn. So when I was in Norway last time in May, I did buy Drops Poppy, which is one of the yarns that she actually uses in one of her samples, which is a rare thing for me. I'm excited. It's going to be the grey mix. Most excitingly is this, although I had plans for another sweater to be this, I just haven't got around to buying the yarn from Blue Phone Yarns, and that's okay. We have another sort of wedding thing next year for the people that obviously can't make it because it's only going to be a small thing. This is going to be my wedding cast on. So the day we actually get married is when I'm going to cast this cardigan on. So let's hope the pattern's good, because it's going to be really stressful if something that's attached to something so good is then a pattern that is really difficult to understand, for example. But I feel like it's gonna be okay. I think it's gonna be absolutely gorgeous and I'm really excited about it. That's my goals and that's my plans. We will see how much we get done. I am feeling kind of confident, kind of not, because we're already like a week into November. Let's just see how much we manage to get done. And of course, I'm going to be getting married this month. It's a really crazy month. That's everything that I think I needed to say. If I can think of anything else, then I will let you know. But as of right now, let's finally actually kick this month off, shall we? I've just done the calculations for my porcelain sweater. I have just taken out of its little bath. I don't really know how long it's going to take to dry because I currently have no heating in this house. So let's hope it's okay. I'm hoping that I can also stretch a bit of width in it, but that's fine. That's for a different time. Right now though, I want to go through what yarns I'm taking with me to Norway. Now I think I did write a list and honestly it's not that much. It could be a lot more, but I'm not doing that. I keep telling myself I need to be realistic because I'm only going for just under 2 weeks. The whole point is, one, I get to see my fiance, but also he will no longer be my fiance, he'll be my husband because we're going to get married, which is crazy. I need to be realistic about how much time I actually have to knit. There might be quite a lot, but I think he's also planned a lot of time off as well so we can spend it together, and I don't want to knit the whole time. Might be wrong, but that, you know, we'll cross that when we get to it. I don't necessarily plan on buying yarn, but I do want to go to the yarn stores. We'll see. I don't really have any full plans really, unless it's like for him, but even then I've already got a jumper quantity that can work for him. I need to work out what I'm actually going to be making, and as much as I want to take the yarn for my niece's sweater for her Christmas present, I don't think I'm going to get to it, if I'm honest. So I think I'm going to leave this one here. I think it would be safe to say that I'm not going to take this yarn with me. I am currently using that yarn, however, in a project which I cast on yesterday. Hopefully they go okay, and I should have enough of that even still. This is my wedding bouquet yarn, still in the same condition it was when I first bought it. This is going to be more for my bouquet next year. So because we are a international couple getting married, there's a lot of technical things in regards to the reality of certain family people that you want to be around not being able to make it or not being able to fly. That's a big part of my case. I have some people that either can't fly because of health or just anxiety, and that's totally fair. And then there's also some people that just genuinely can't afford it because it's expensive, and I totally get that. What the plan is we're having another wedding, like a blessing, next year, and that's where I'm going to have a lot of the main wedding making things coming into place. These are going to be started probably next year. Needless to say, none of that's coming with me. Siri cardigan is something I am casting on. Whilst I'm there, I've decided that it's going to be my wedding cast on. I did want to do the Lowtide sweater. I just haven't been able to get around to buying the yarn that I want from Blue Fern Yarns, and I may do that as like the English wedding cast on because then it's just cables both times. I am currently taking part in a little cable cal that is being run by Lene from Norwegian Knitter. I think this is gonna be lovely. She's also knitting the Siri cardigan and I'm so excited. I was meant to be knitting the Siri cardigan in this yarn, but I just couldn't make the gauge work. Everything else on this shelf I am not gonna be bringing with me because it is things like a blanket, which I don't really plan on starting in November. The Achill would be nice to start, but again, I need to be conscious of suitcase space. This off-white, I don't think I'll be bringing any of the others, even though it probably makes sense because those two are for people, for gifts out there, but I'm just not going to get a chance to do it all. So that's more of like a January cast on anyway. It was more because I had space so I could get my yarn back out, so that's not relevant either. So the off-white yarn is coming with me. The poppy is coming with me as well. That might be it actually. I'm umming and ahhing about this yarn here. I'm thinking of making a Sophie hood, but am I going to knit on that? I mean, maybe. I'm going to have 2 cable projects. I might want to have a Sophie hood. Yeah, maybe actually. Maybe I should bring this. I have put away or put to the side all the yarns that I'm maybe bringing. I'm undecided about these. They may come with me because I just don't see it being realistic that I'm only going to be bringing 2 projects and both of them have cables. So I think it could be quite nice to have a garter stitch, so a Sophie hood on the needles as well. I was thinking about bringing my Tolsta T4 ply because that's actually quite close to being finished. Then I'll have a new t-shirt, and it's going to be really cool actually to have that t-shirt and wear it knowing that I finished it on my trip to Norway where we got married. So it's a possibility. I'm still playing with the ideas. Hello, I am finally here to do the outro for this month, which is November. So I'll be honest, I don't really have all that much to show because even though it's been an incredibly amazing month, I haven't really done all that much making, to be honest, which I feel like that kind of makes sense, right? So I think I will kick off with everything that I didn't get to or didn't make on, and I think that that list is going to be quite big looking at it. The things that I didn't work on at all, which a lot of them I kind of guessed that would be the case. You got my Tolsta 4-ply, no progress whatsoever. I maybe picked it up and was like, oh, I need to try this on, and didn't work on it. The Achill, I didn't start that, which I also very much guessed that would be the case. The older sweater is another one. Didn't get around to that, which is also okay. I can start that next month. I have not made a single neck warmer, which is a little bit problematic considering they are supposed to be Christmas presents. That's not great. I also did not start the Granny Square blanket. Even when I got back from my trip, I did not start it, didn't pick it up. And I think that's because I had just so much going on instead that it really just took all of my attention away to actually start that blanket, because I really want to record that, and I think that's what's putting me off in general. I just didn't really want to start it straight away. I just want to give it its full attention in one go, and I felt like I couldn't do that at the end of November. Another thing that I didn't get to, and I'm actually really a little bit disappointed that I didn't get to that point, was the gnome cross stitch. I said I wanted to get 2 finished this month. Not only have I not done that, I haven't even worked on finishing the first one. So December is going to be heavy on making sure that that is finished in time. But yeah, I made no progress on that cross stitch at all, which is really weird. However, what I did do though, I'll pop in a picture of how my niece's sweater is turning out. I did start it and I'm just on the yoke now, and I'm feeling pretty okay about that. It's definitely knitting up very slowly. For some reason my brain just didn't quite compute 4-ply yarn being not a very fast knit, but it's okay. I think the colours are working out really beautifully as well though. Like the white and the pink are working really well in the flora. Do keep trying to stretch the neckline out though, because even though I did it as it should be, it really does seem like the neckline is quite small. I don't know, maybe it's just me maybe slightly panicking about how small that neckline is. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine, but it is something that I'm thinking about and constantly trying to be like, is this big enough? Am I gonna have to restart this? I hope not. I'm not all that far on it right now, but it's certainly a start, which is what I wanted. So I guess we hit that goal, which is really nice. However, something that was not so great was my mittens. So as you would have seen at the start of the month, I had quite quickly finished my pair of mittens. This is the Snowflake mitten pattern by Drops, just a free pattern on their website. I was using Raume Vandre for this. They are too small. That's really sad. That is the case. But I thought that I could get away with mine. It's fine for me, but it wasn't fine for my husband. I had finished off one of his mittens. I had got to the point where, oh my gosh, this is tangled. I was so almost finished with the thumb. So I was probably about halfway through the thumb, and that was all I had to do. I got to this point, I said to my husband, oh, can you just try this on and see how it fit? It did fit, but not well at all. I got quite disappointed about the scenario. I completely lost all want or esteem or faith to do them, and also a bit of confidence in myself, which is, I mean, it's a little bit sad, but it just kind of is what it is, isn't it? I'm undecided right now, for sure. I've got a couple of options. I could just leave it and call it done and just be disappointed, or I could rip this out, this out, this out, and this out, and remake them in a DK size. It's frustrating because I did do a swatch in both for the DK pattern and the more chunkier pattern. The gauge definitely was nicer on the chunkier pattern, but I guess just knit too tightly as well. Almost finished both. I finished mine completely weaved in the ends, but they're not any good really. I mean, they're nice, but they don't fit me. They're just a little bit of a flop. That was really unfortunate. And then on the same subject as mittens, I was not just making them for me and my husband, but I also started making some for my best friend who came out with me, which I'm so unbelievably grateful and happy and genuinely just so honoured that she wanted to do that for us, and that she took the time out of her life and her work and all of these other things to be there as a witness for a few days. And I just think that that is just the most honoured that I could possibly have been. So I definitely still want to get these done for her. I am thinking her birthday's in January, but I'm thinking I've got a few things to send her for Christmas. I'm hoping I can get them done maybe next month, and we'll see if I can get them finished. But obviously that could have gone better as well. Another thing to talk about this month is my cast on that I had this month, which I planned to cast it on the wedding day, and honestly it was so busy that was absolutely not going to happen. But I did cast it on the day after, I think, so I'm still counting it as our weekend. This is my wedding cast on. Difficult to show because it's on a really short cable, but this is my Siri cardigan, and I think that it looks really, really pretty. I have absolutely loved working with this yarn so far. So the STASHDOWN Poppy, it's the called for yarn, or one of. It's been an absolute joy to work on, an absolute joy. I've absolutely loved every second of it. It has been a very full-on pattern. My goodness. I knew when I was packing my yarns at the start of the month that I was going to feel a little bit that I had a lot of cable projects planned, and it really was so consistently. I had to constantly check the chart. I am not even finished with the yoke still, so I'm really happy with the progress though, considering I started this in the middle of November. I am still really happy that I've got this far. I think that's pretty cool and pretty impressive. And I worked a little bit when I came back from Norway as well. So I think it's really cute. I think it's going to be really, really pretty. Really airy as well. It's going to be absolutely lovely. I'm kind of thinking maybe, as I really do want to do the older sweater for my Christmas cast on, but I am still thinking about it. But if I don't get there, maybe I can just work on this and make this another, like a December project as well. I want to say that I'm maybe halfway through the yoke, possibly. I feel like I don't remember leaving such a short tail, but I guess that's a problem for me for later, Holly. Yeah, that was really cool. So in saying that though about the Siri cardigan, about how full on it was, I was very, very, very happy that I did in fact bring my STASHDOWN Sunday. I did start a Sophie hood. I have not got very far. Oh wow, that looks bright. I've not got very far at all with it. It was a really, really great project to have, and I'm really glad that I did have it, because it was really helpful and handy to have in those moments where I didn't want to look at a pattern constantly. I didn't really feel like I could take my Siri with me to many places that we were visiting, because again it was so full on. I felt like it was very much a home project that I couldn't really take anywhere. So this was really, really a good thing that I did take this. Yeah, not much progress. I'm kind of expecting to work on this quite a bit next month, just to try and get a little bit more into it. But yeah, no proper finishes. Does mean, because I plan on ripping those mittens out, I think, don't feel like I can call them done, meaning that this month we used and finished no yarn, which is really sad. Damn it. Yeah, no yarn usage for this month of November. I didn't buy any yarn though, actually. It's at least a level playing field, so that's still reassuring. However, it has been such a stressful and full on, but such an amazing month, such a special month. I can't quite believe that me and my husband got married. It's very, very strange, and it's definitely catching me out quite a bit. So even though there is no proper change, I will still throw the totals up for this year so far. So I will leave you here with this month of November, and I really, really hope that you enjoyed coming along with me for this really crazy and special month. Thank you so, so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.